Yeah, this is something that I think more than a few people struggle with, because they ask, how do I stop people from controlling my life? Okay, let's simplify for a second and say there's two options here. You either accept, okay, you accept what's happening because you're in a situation you can't do anything. Okay, that's one level of training. That's training in itself. And there's many different scenarios of how that looks. You just like you're stuck, man. You're living at home. You're too young to move out. You have parents that are just kind of abusive and etc. You're working at a job. You have a family. Your boss is abusive or just idiot. The people you work with are idiots. The consciousness is low. Like, what do you do? You don't have another job. You can't quit. You have to, many examples. All right. So that's a situation where you have to accept. Now, there's also situations where, because the two options, you accept or you change it. So there's some situations where you can change it. I did, been doing private sessions with a girl for a while now. And so I saw the whole process. I'm glad. I like it. She was married and didn't want to be married. The chemistry wasn't there. They weren't he wasn't suitable for her anymore. And it wasn't that she, because I talked to her enough, I know her motives were pure. She was clean. It's not like, oh, he doesn't give me enough money or some nonsense. No, she has money and he has money. That's nice. When money's out of the equation, man. I was talking to my friend yesterday, talking about we're talking about girls, but man, I had a girl. Damn it, do I even get into this? His daughter. No, I'm not gonna do it. But see, now you're gonna want me to do it. She she was trying to she wanted something like that, and it surprised me, and then he was sharing about a couple girls also, and I said, damn, what happened to when we were like 5 or 6 years old, when I was living in Michigan, it was snowing, and then we would just push each other on the sled, and there was no agenda, no nothing. It was like, great, man. I'm like, what happened to that? Because as we were talking in the conversation, he was, it revealed that there's always some agenda there. It's either sex or security or, something. I'm like, what happened? That's why I'm not really interested. I don't have I have sufficient experience with how it feels to be in communion with the opposite sex, and I enjoyed it, but it's done now. I don't know. I'm not against it. I'm open, but it's like I want to go back to the 5-year-old example where it's just clean and pure. That's it. We enjoy because we enjoy. That's it. Yeah, but why do you enjoy? I don't know. I just enjoy. Yeah, this is attractive. So back to the woman that I was having sessions with. She just felt like it wasn't there. Like the season was over. This is important to recognize when the season's over. You know how many relationships and marriages continue and the season was over 10 years ago? But they're still in it because of these reasons. Security, usually. For the guy, it's sex, or, I don't want to be alone. Yeah. So she's high enough. She's like, no, I want to be out of this. But it took some time. Probably took, I don't know, a year or more before she finally got out. Now that's an example of you change the situation. Now the mind, careful, the mind always says the opposite of the thing of which your inner sanction is moving you to do. If you're in a situation where you should change it, the mind's going to put the spiritual hat on, say, no, but you know how many times I hear this from people before, and it's just obvious justification, They said, no, I need to stay here for the training. I need to accept this, I don't want to run from it. When really, They don't need to be there anymore. They don't have the introspection to catch out why they're still staying there. You're there still because you're trying to steal some juice from it. You're getting some kind of dopamine hit or some security. It's feeding your lower nature somehow, but they don't admit that. Instead, they turn it into a spiritual training. Like, no, God has me in training. I need to learn how to unconditionally love the person. You see how these things get complex? It's not easy growing up, maturing spiritually. But anyway, she got out of it, and now she has her own place. He has his own place, and there you go. So now it's like, whoa, I wonder what's going to happen now. It's like your life. It's like a whole new chapter now. You know, let's see what happens. So it's exciting, and yeah, I want to watch and see what happens next. Maybe she'll meet. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so that's an example of changing something. You have to discern and know what's what. This is first thing. See, God is playing all these roles. He's playing all these roles. He's playing as the one that's like abusing you at work or at home, and you're powerless. Okay, let's go back to the situation. You have to accept it. Just some situation, like when I used to sell cars, I hated it. Like, it sucked. Standing there with a group of guys, and they're all smoking and talking about like girl experiences they never had, and it just sucked. Very low level. And you have to stand there because that's like the deal. And then the car starts coming, and whoever yells "red car," they get it. Like, you get that customer. But then you get into fights because he said, "No, I called it before you. No, yeah, car business." I have that chapter in my book. So I had to be there for a while. I printed out. You guys know I like Marianne Williamson, and that was back in the day when she was writing her books. She was in book mode. I know what that is now. Yep. I'll be glad when that's over. She wrote Return to Love. That's her first book. It blew up. And I would print out the copies, because this is 25 years ago. I had a printer, and I'd print the copies of some of the pages in the book, and I'd be standing in the car lot reading that. That's all I could do. Like, what can I do? I would try to pray. I would read this, do something to buffer this negative energy that I seemingly was stuck in, that God was portraying for a little bit, because he had to give me training somehow. I needed, everything's training. There's no accidents. There's a saying that says God either is or he isn't. There's no like, oh yeah, this is God's doing. Yep, this is nice and peaceful. Oh no, but this isn't God's. No, it's all God's doing. So if you're in a situation like that, just check and see, like, what is it? Okay, God, I'm here, and I don't see any way out right now. Let's say you authentically need to be there. You're not supposed to leave. What can I do to help with this situation? And listen to the guidance that comes. You have to develop this level of reception to the divine. This is your power. You can't ask people what to do, because they're not going to know on the level that you know. Like, your situation is going to get so intimate that even the highest guru is not going to be able to help you, because God made it like that. Otherwise, we would just have a false dependence on people telling us what to do for the rest of our lives. Now, is there a purpose and a point for a guide? Yeah, of course. But a guide can only take you so far. So the other side, let's say you can change something. There's a lizard. Let's say you can change something, and first be aware that you really should change it. This first step. Then be aware of the resistance to stay in something that you know that you should change, because that's the training. In one situation, God is playing as the one that's abusing you somehow, and the training is to somehow get in touch with your deeper spiritual muscles to see how to deal with that, knowing that it's temporary and nothing can last forever. Now, this new scenario, God's playing as the one. He's going to torture you until you change. He wants you to change. So he starts out flicking you. Oh, okay. He tries to be nice. Like, you're not changing? All right. Okay, you still not changing? You see? Because, like, that's your destiny. That's your training to change. But you're like Tomzik or Dahl, too much inertia, and you just stay in a situation, I don't know. Yeah. I never had that issue. That everything's duality. Everybody has defects of character. It's just a question, which side are you on? Everybody, even if it's subtle. You're either too passive or you're too aggressive. I'm more aggressive. You're either have trouble accepting a situation that's really not, matching for you, or you have trouble getting out of a situation that's not matching for you. I didn't have that problem. I had trouble accepting. So find out where your shortcoming is. This is good knowledge for you, so you can start to work on it. This is why it's not good. People sweep everything under the carpet. I'm all blissed out now. That's it. There's only the self. Yeah, but what about, I don't know about that. Yeah. You can try that for a while. At some point, life's going to make you look. Because God, is training you to look. So I'm talking to the people who are already willing to look. Realize in that situation, why? I should change this, damn it. Why am I what? Now, to make it more complex, like with the girl that left her husband, I also told her it has to go through a natural process also. Can't just, get off the phone and say, okay, I'm leaving now. Let me pick all my stuff up. I'm good. No, there has to be some process too. But at least inside that you're fully committed now to this change. This is the important thing. Or are you still playing and trying to work things out and justify and say, well, no, but maybe I should stay here because, it's important because this or because that. Are you doing that in your relationships or at your job or in whatever situation? Once you commit to doing what you're supposed to do, the universe is going to back you. If it's really in your heart to do it, it's just going to back you. Like the way her life unfolded, it backed her. And then it just kind of worked out. I remember she used to tell me, because I asked her, I said, did you tell him? Did you have a talk? And try to explain, nothing personal. I still have love for you, obviously. But I think the season's over. Yeah, I tried, man, but he trips out. I can't do it. Well, at some point it was possible for them to have that conversation, and he went along with it. There wasn't some big drama, and it worked out. Trust the universe but first you have to really honor this inner sanction and authenticity in you that wants you to do what you're supposed to do. This is first step. Otherwise you can't access the universal power. You have to be full on board first. Well, how do you get full on board if you're not full on board? Look and see what's holding you back. Be willing to look at that stuff. There you go. That's the formula. Look and realize. First step, you realize, should you accept it or change it? Second step, what's keeping me from accepting or changing it? Third step, have some patience in this process, now that you committed to accept or change it, that this is going to turn out good, and take the steps necessary to have it turn out. There you go. All right, I'll see you.